Good afternoon and welcome to the February 10th, 2026 meeting of the Georgetown County Council. Please, for the record, please note Councilor Newton is not here, but we do have a quorum present. Please take this time to silence your cell phone so we can all be present for the information to be presented. Please join us as Councilor Bishop Cooper leads us in the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we come before you with grateful hearts for the privilege of serving our community. Thank you for the people of Georgetown County and for the truth that have placed those gathered here before us tonight. Grant this council wisdom and understanding as we discuss matters that affect our neighbors, our families, our future. Help us to speak with respect, listen with patience, act with fairness. May our decision be guided not by personal interest, but by the desires for justice, progress, and peace. Bless everyone here, leaders, citizens, staff alike, with unity, a purpose, and compassion for one another. May all that is done tonight bring honor to your name and benefit those who serve. It is in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, which is justice for all.
Thank you all. Move down to the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion on the floor to approve the agenda as published?
So moved.
Moved by Councilor Charlton. Is there a second? Second by Councilor Morant. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? The agenda is approved. We'll move down to special reports and presentations. Tonight's nonprofit spotlight is Backpack Buddies. Georgetown County and Francis P. Burnell Foundation are partnering to spotlight a local nonprofit. This week's featured nonprofit is Backpack Buddies. Ms. Rita Shop, please tell me, did I get close to your name? I apologize.
Thank you. It's with great pleasure I'm here tonight. I am the volunteer coordinator for the Backpack Buddy program that is housed at St. Peter's Lutheran Church in Pawleys Island. We started, we're beginning our 17th year. In February of 2009, one of our members thought that there was a need to provide some weekend lunch items to students who might be food challenged here in Georgetown County. And we started with 25 students at Waccamaw Elementary, and we now serve 550 students a week throughout the county. We serve students from Pawleys Island Child Development Center, Waccamaw Elementary, Waccamaw Intermediate, Sandpit, Andrews, and Plantersville, and we support the food pantry closets that have been started at the Waccamaw Middle School and the Waccamaw High School for their students there that they can pick up food on Fridays. So the way the program works for us is that each Friday for 33 weeks of the year, the students receive, a backpack, I'll show you. They receive a paper lunch bag, and we went with paper lunch bags so we weren't responsible, or students weren't responsible for getting items back every week and having to clean them and refill them. And we wanted them to be simple enough that they could be put in a backpack and light enough for students to carry because they're already carrying a lot of things in their backpacks. We started with 5 food items, and we sometimes add an item if they're small, but I put a sample bag together for you. So for 1 week, we make menus for the month, and we try to not duplicate items. So in this bag for this month, there was a trail mix, an animal cracker, an applesauce, a cheese dip item, and a Nutella thing. And so every week we have 5 items, and as I said, we try to vary them at every week in the menus. When we start out the beginning of the year, there are permission slips given to each school that they send home with the parents. We don't have any questions asked. If a child and a parent returns their form, then they get a backpack or a weekend lunch bag. The students, when they get their bags from us, there's their name, their grade, their teacher, and any allergies they might have. So we pack allergy bags so that we make sure they're safe for those students to take home. We try not to have anything that has sharp edges because we're sending home with little kids. And we try not to have anything that has to be heated for the students because we're never sure what their possibilities of doing those things are. We work with a representative of each school, and we have a rolling enrollment. So as new students come in, we will take them into the program. We're very, very lucky that we have great cooperation from the schools, and we have great cooperations from the volunteers who help pack these. We do not pack every week. We found that trying to get volunteers to come in every week was difficult. And because we have non-perishable items, we can pack for a whole month, and we put them in plastic bins and deliver them to the school labeled by grade so that the teachers can pass them out. The teachers are very careful to not have anything be self-conscious to the students. We want them to feel comfortable. We don't want questions asked. The students look forward to these bags. We know that that's not going to furnish them food through the whole weekend, but we have heard great compliments from parents and grandparents who say, it sure is a nice supplement if I have 4 children come home and I now have 20 items for the weekend to help me get through the weekend. At Sandpit, we deliver food to Sandpit because they have a group of volunteers who pack their food there. The same at Plantersville. We used to pack for those schools, and then when COVID came around and they couldn't have volunteers, they sought school personnel to do it, and since we've gone past COVID now, they have their own sets of volunteers. At Andrews, Kathy Hemingway is the coordinator who helps with Andrews, and each of the middle schools and the high school have a coordinator. We have great volunteers, and we have great support. Benell is one of our greatest supporters, and Palmetto Giving Day is a great fundraiser for us. We purchase most of our food from Sam's, Costco, Dollar Tree, and we also get great donations from the Lowe's in Pawleys Island. They usually donate at least 4 or 5 times a year, hundreds of crackers or hundreds of cereal, and those items really help supplement the program. We still, over this year, this school year, will have served about 20,000 of the bags over the course of the year, and the program runs about, depending on how much we get donated from Lowe's, runs anywhere between $15,000 and $21,000 a year to support the program. We have civic groups that help us. We have individual donors that help us. We have churches in the area. We have golf teams that donate. We're just never, ever sure where all the money is going to come from, but it comes. Like I said, Benell is a great supporter with their grant, and Palmetto Giving Day is huge. Last year, we raised $17,000 for Palmetto Giving Day, so it really helps. We always try to keep a year and a half in reserve in case something catastrophic happens somewhere and we really need those funds. So we're excited for the program. We love the program, and we're starting our 17th year, so it's been a success. We're always looking for new people. I have a meeting with another school in the next couple weeks to see if they want to join the program. There are schools here in Georgetown that have similar programs now done by other churches, and so we try to work with those programs too. But if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
Mr. Chairman, I had a question.
Councilor
Ms. Rita,
Yes,
first, God bless you for what you're doing.
thank you.
Somebody's got to do this stuff, and there's very few of us that are willing to sign up, and it sounds like you're 120% committed. But here's my question. With everything that's going on with the food chain and the triangle being flipped upside down, whatever that food triangle was, is that going to be an issue for you, or are you just going to, as the stores start making changes in cereals and things like that, you'll just kind of slowly move into the new diet thing?
Yes, I mean, we kind of go to like Sam's and Costco, and we wander through and find what we can find. We can always, I used to serve a milk, but now those boxed milks aren't as much available as they were. But we always have a fruit or a pudding or an applesauce in every week. And like you say, as food things change, we will just try to adapt with them as best we can.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I have two questions for you.
Yes.
My first question, the supporters that I see that you have here, how do you go about obtaining some more supporters? So you have about 7 listed. That's the first question, trying to obtain some more supporters. And the second question, if there's an emergency need, let's say, for example, I see where you have children at certain age criteria, but let's say there's an emergency situation, how do you help those that have a need for an emergency food?
The first question I'll answer is the emergency food. Any one of my school representatives can contact me and say, we have a family in need, or can you provide extras? And we always will. We are lucky that sometimes we can work with Baskerville Food Bank. In fact, I left that out. In the summer, when I don't have access to the schools, I work with a team at Baskerville, and we pack about 1,000 of these lunches throughout the summer. And then anybody who comes into Baskerville, for the number of children they have in their family, they get that number of bags. So that if an emergency arises, we try to provide, because we have adequate funding to do some of that, to make what we call family bags that maybe are bigger boxes of cereal and those kinds of things. Supporter-wise, it's interesting because we're asked sometimes to present like we were here. We will find out, some of our volunteers will go to other people in local agencies. We have book clubs that now give us donations instead of buying each other Christmas gifts. So our support is kind of grassroots. Everything is volunteer. We have no financial overhead other than the food we buy and the supplies we buy. And so we're just kind of out there trying to spread the word.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else?
Each one of you should have a brochure, so if you ever have any questions or thoughts or needs, please send me an email, leave me a phone message, and we'd be happy to hear anything you have, suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for everything you do for Georgetown County. We move down to a public comment period. A public comment period is included on each meeting agenda and shall be limited to 30 minutes. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes, and no speaker may yield his or her allotted time to another speaker. A timer is provided on screen, and at the end of your time, please wrap up your comments promptly. While speaking, please be sure to address council only and refrain from personal attacks. Council will not respond to any questions during this period. While a speaker has the floor, the public will respect the speaker and allow them their time to address council. Members of the public who wish to address council during the public input period should sign up with the clerk to council before the meeting. Madam Clerk, do we have any speakers for tonight's meeting?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on. Move down to our public hearing. We have a public hearing on Ordinance 2603 to amend the comprehensive plan future land use map to reflect the redesignation of TMS 02-0416-017-02-00, 02-0416-017-02-01, and 02-0416-017-00-00 from EMP 2RR located on the southern side of Gateway Road near Andrews in Georgetown County County Council District Number 5. Chair will now open the floor to a public hearing on ordinance 2603. Seeing no one to speak, public hearing is now closed. Move down to appointments to boards and commissions. We have a planning commission member. Vice Chair Stella Mercado has recommended the initial appointment of Amy Armstrong to the planning commission representing Council District 6. Councilor Mercado.
Yes. First, I'd like to thank Ashley Nelson for serving 3 years and congratulate her for her promotion to Executive Director for the Bunnell Foundation. And I'm excited to nominate Ms. Amy Armstrong, Executive Director of SCALP, to the Planning Commission representing District 6.
Thank you, Councilor Mercado. You've heard the initial motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Anderson. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Ordinance carries. Welcome, Ms. Armstrong. You know not what you do.
She'll be all right.
We move down to ordinance 2603 to amend the comprehensive plan, wait a minute. We move to ordinance 2602. I'm getting ahead of myself. I apologize. To rezone 4 parcels totaling approximately 32.5 acres at 204 Green Bay Drive in Georgetown County from heavy industrial to forest agricultural, TMS number 02-0416-017-02-00, 02-0416-017-02-01, and 02-0416-017-00, in Council District 5. Ms. Richardson, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This parcel is located to the east of Andrews in a rural area. It's off Gapway Road and Green Bay Drive. There is a residential home on the property, and it contains 32 acres. This request is to go from HI, heavy industrial, to forest and agriculture for the 32 acres in order to allow for the addition of a single-family residential home for a family member. Our HI district does not allow for residences, hence the reasoning for this rezoning request. The zoning on the surrounding properties include both HI, FA, and R1/2 acre. There's also MR10 to the south of the tract. There is water provided by the Water and Sewer District. Any wastewater will be septic on the property, and that would need to be handled through SCDES. Future land use map shows this property as employment. Since the current designation does conflict with the residential use that's being proposed, we are recommending a map change to rural residential, or RR, which allows for very low densities in rural areas. We think that this rezoning request is consistent for the property and its current use, since there is a single-family home there today. It's not considered spot zoning based on its size, and there is some adjacent like zone property in the area. We also feel that the future land use map change is warranted based on the existing RR in the area and the single-family use. The Planning Commission met on this on December 18th. No one but the applicant was there to speak, and they unanimously recommended approval with a 5-0 vote. And they also recommended approval for the future land use map change, and that is jumping down to item 8B on your agenda, from employment to RR, with a unanimous vote. We haven't had any changes since second reading. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Ms. Richardson. Are there any questions for Ms. Richardson on ordinance 2602? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion on ordinance 2602 to rezone 4 parcels totaling approximately 32.5 acres located at 204 Green Bay Drive in Georgetown County from heavy industrial to forest agriculture, TMS 02-0416-017-02-00 and 02-0416-017-02-01 and 02-0416-017-00 in Council District 5. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Anderson. Is there a second? Second. Second by Councilor Charlton. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? Ordinance passes. We'll move down to ordinance 2603 to amend the comprehensive plan future land use map to reflect the redesignation of TMS 020-04 16-017-02-00, 02-0416-017-02-01, and 02-0416-017-0000 from employment to RR, located on the southern side of Gateway Road near Andrews in Georgetown County District 5. Mrs. Richardson.
Yes, sir, same request. This is the future land use map change.
Thank you, ma'am. Are there any questions for Ms. Richardson on ordinance 2603? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion. Is there a motion on the floor regarding 2603?
So moved.
So moved by Counselor Anderson. Is there a second? Second by Counselor Charlton. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? The ordinance passes. Move down to second reading of ordinance 2604, to rezone one parcel located at 5177 Berkeley Court in Merle's Inlet, totaling approximately 1 acre from forest agriculture to 1/2 residential, R1/2, TMS number 41-0404-011-05-00 in Council District 6. Ms. Richardson, you have the floor.
Yes, sir. This property is located on the east side of Berkeley Court in Merle's Inlet. There is currently a residential home and an accessory structure on the property that is 1 acre in size. The property owner made this request to go from FA to R1/2 acre in order to allow for the subdivision of the parcel into 2 separate lots. The current residential use is an allowed use in both the FA district and the R1/2 acre district. The minimum lot size would decrease in R1/2 to 20,000 square feet, and the setbacks are reduced from 50 to 40 in the front, 20 to 15 on the sides, and 30 to 25 in the rear. The surrounding zoning is R1/2 acre to the north, south, and west, and there is some other FA zoning to the southeast of the tract. The surrounding uses are all currently residential or vacant properties. Georgetown County Water and Sewer District provides both water and sewer to the tract. Berkeley Court is a county-owned and maintained right-of-way. This tract already has an encroachment, a curb cut for the driveway that it accesses the property. Future land use map shows this property as rural residential, and we are not recommending an amendment to that. We feel that RR is appropriate for the request. This property is located in an AE flood zone, so any new construction would have to comply with the flood zone requirements. We don't think this is spot zoning. There is adjacent R1/2 acre zoning. We did a recent rezoning to R1/2 for some lots in this area as well. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on this request at their January meeting. There was no one but the applicant there to speak, and the commission voted approval with a 5-0 vote. Questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Thank you, Ms. Richardson. Are there any questions for Ms. Richardson? I have one quick question.
Yes,
Is
sir.
this District 6 or 1?
District 6 or 1. This is should be in your district. Is it mislabeled, do you think?
It's listed as District 6. I thought it was District 1, but, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I was just clarifying.
I'll be sure to correct that if it's listed there incorrectly. Yes, sir.
Any further questions for Ms. Richardson? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion on ordinance 2604 to rezone one parcel located at 5177 Berkeley Court in Merle's Inlet, totaling approximately 1 acre from forest agriculture to 1/2 residential, R1/2 residential, TMS 41-0404-011-05-00. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Morant. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? The ordinance passes. Move down to the approval of minutes, our regular council meeting minutes from January 27th. Is there a motion on the floor to approve the minutes?
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Cooper. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? The minutes are approved. All right. Sorry. Are there any further business to come before council at this time? Hearing none, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Cooper. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? Meeting's adjourned.